Hello and welcome to the Real Time Fantasy Sports Show. I'm Jeff Power, senior writer for Real Time Fantasy Sports, and this is my son Henry Power.
Hi.
And on today's Real Time Fantasy Sports Show, we're going to preview training camp. Believe it or not, training camp is getting ready to open here across all the football land. Some camps open up next week, some the following week, but either way, they're all going to start opening up, and hopefully all goes well, and we have football starting up here shortly. You excited about that?
Yeah.
So before I get to that, though, I did want to mention we do have tons of leagues drafting every night here at Real Time Fantasy Sports. Go to rtsports.com. You can see all the different leagues we have to offer, different price points, different formats. Our famous best ball one, we're doing a best ball championship this year. We have our famous The Fantasy Championship as well, which gives away $300,000 grand prize. Just an awesome, awesome championship. Go to rtsports.com and sign up sooner than later. Get in the league today. We're drafting all the time. You can get in the league right now. If you want to sign up, you can draft probably in an hour or so. So go to rtsports.com, sign up for a league. All right, Henry, let's get into this training camp stuff now. So I wanted to talk about a couple different things. Some storylines that we're going to look at, some, the headlines that we want to consider watching heavily as fantasy fans. Also position battles, which is very important, and injuries as well. So guys returning from injuries that will have training camp to get healthy and ready for the start of the year. So first of all, let's do storylines. I think obviously the big one is just how is COVID-19 going to affect everything? How's this going to play out this year? I mean, what do you think?
Personally, I think if they can play with maybe, 10 or 20 players maybe getting it, I feel like they can still play, but still, I don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, it's scary. I do think teams are going to get it. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. It's definitely going to be the top storyline of all training camps. How many people get it, what star players get it, and how it's going to impact them going forward. I guess from a fantasy perspective, maybe you want to see your players, the star players, get it sooner than later so they don't get it during the season. I don't know. It's definitely going to be the top storyline to watch, though, in this training camp, unfortunately, as well, because it's something we'd rather not talk about, but it's the world we live in right now, so that's what we have to deal with. So that's obviously a top storyline. How about a storyline for you, Henry?
I'm excited to see Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins together. Personally, I think they can be a great duo. Murray's a great QB who's seen his potential last year, and I feel like he can be a great QB. And Hopkins, he's one of the best receivers in the league. They're going to be a great duo.
Yeah, I'm excited about that offense, too. It'll be neat to see them all on the field together. Another one I'm excited about, I'm sure this is on the tops of a lot of people's list, Tom Brady in Tampa.
Yeah.
How is this going to play out? Can he live up to the hype? Rob Gronkowski's there as well. A lot of hype surrounding this team. Can they live up to it? I know your Brady views have been skewed recently because he's with Tampa now. You like him a little bit more or not?
No. I still hate him.
He still doesn't like him, even in his move to Tampa. So that's one storyline, too. Henry still hates Brady. Okay, next storyline. Anything else you got, Henry?
I have Cam Newton taking over as the starting QB in New England. I think this is a good fit, personally. I don't think he'll be as good as what Brady did there, but I think we could do solid things there. I think he'll be a good QB and be a great fit for that offense.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting one to watch, too. Cam Newton probably has a big chip on his shoulder. Didn't get a lot of offers. We don't know what offers he got, but there weren't many because he signed for a really good deal to go to New England. So that'll be interesting to see if he fits in Bill Belichick's system and if they accept him and if he can keep that train rolling there.
Yeah.
Another one for me, Philip Rivers. I know not as high profile as Tom Brady or Cam Newton, but he heads Indianapolis, takes over Jacoby Brissett, and that's a veteran presence in that offense, a team that has a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. So I think if Rivers can rebound from all his turnovers last year, could be a positive. It's something I'm definitely going to watch. Another one too, Henry, before we move on to the next one, all the rookies vying for playing time. Like, if you look at the QB spot, it's really Joe Burrow is the only one that's guaranteed. After him, all those guys are not guaranteed to start as far as QBs go. Like Tua, he's going to have a battle on his hands. Justin Herbert in Los Angeles, too. He's probably not going to start with Tyrod Taylor there. So it's kind of interesting. Usually a few more rookies are going to be in the mix to start. Might not be the case, but when it comes to running backs now,
there's a lot.
A lot of them battling for playing time. Receiver too. I think that position was really deep this year. A lot of them can make a big impact. So it's something I'm going to want to watch. All the rookies and how they're performing in camp. And I think one other thing we should point out too is they haven't canceled it right now, but it looks like preseason games might not happen. So
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It's going to be hard to get a read on some of this stuff because we're not going to be able to see them live in action playing games, especially the rookies and guys battling for positions too. So it could make things a little tricky when it comes to fantasy stuff, especially when you start drafting closer to the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about some of these position battles now, Henry. I'll give you the first one that I'm intrigued by, Colts running back. So Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. Mack coming off a 1,000-yard season. Taylor, highly regarded. Some considered him the best rookie in the class for running backs. So he's probably going to get a good shot to start. I think that's definitely one we're going to want to watch from fantasy perspective because Colts, very good offensive line.
Yes.
They could be very good running the ball. So whoever starts there, going to have a lot of value. How about a position battle you're looking at, Henry?
I have the Rams running back. There's Cam Akers, Malcolm Brown, and Darrell Henderson. Personally, I think Cam Akers is going to take over as a starter. There's a great rookie with a lot of potential. I think he's going to have a great year, and he's going to start.
Yeah, that's definitely one to watch, too, because that's a big hole to fill. Todd Gurley gone, so it's a lot of carries someone's going to get in his place, and another rookie back that has a good chance to do that. So Redskins, another one for me, another running back position. You'll see a theme here. We basically have all running backs for these battles here except for one. But next one for me is Redskins. So Darius Geis, Adrian Peterson. Geis, a lot of talent, can't stay on the field, been hurt all the time. Adrian Peterson, what's he, 94, 96 years old now? Something like that. He keeps chugging along though, right?
Yeah.
Keeps getting it done. So he's going to battle Geis out for the job. I think Geis, if he can stay healthy, it's his. But definitely one to watch too because I think this could be a run-heavy offense. So that's one I'm going to keep my eye on. How about you, Henry?
I'm a huge Chiefs fan. The Chiefs running back. I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Damian Williams. Damian Williams, I really like him, but I feel like Edwards-Helaire is going to come out and be on top and be the better running back and start in Kansas City.
Yeah, you heard their offensive coordinator saying, don't forget about Williams. He's still going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
So I definitely think this is still one to watch. It's not just going to be handed to Edwards-Helaire. He's going to have to perform. So keep an eye on that one. Another one with a rookie back involved, Bucks. So you got Ronald Jones, Keyshawn Vaughn, two guys vying to start in Tampa's explosive offense. Jones has bulked up recently. Apparently a report came out he's up to 225 pounds. So see how that impacts him. Keyshawn Vaughn's there too. I personally think this is going to come down to whoever can pass block the best to keep Brady upright. So that's something that is going to be worth watching in Tampa. That whoever comes out on top is going to have some pretty good fantasy value. Another one, Henry.
I had the Lions running back, Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift. Personally, Kerryon Johnson didn't perform as well as I thought he would last year. I think DeAndre Swift is going to come on top of this one.
Yeah, I think you're right there. A lot of people feel that as well. But again, a lot of these organizations are going to make him earn it, especially a rookie. So they're not just going to hand him to him. I would definitely keep an eye on this still. It's not a given that Swift's just going to be handed the job. So I got another one that maybe is a little more off the radar, but it's something I would definitely keep an eye on. The Chargers backup running back spot. So you have Justin Jackson and rookie Joshua Kelly battling for this spot to back up Austin Eckler. You got to remember, the Chargers like to rotate backs. Eckler's probably not fit to be a 3-down back, so I think the backup's going to have real fantasy value. I would not discount either of these guys to have a big role in the offense, whoever wins that backup job. So it's one I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. I think Jackson looked good with his limited work last year, but it was limited, so it's not a given that he's going to be the backup. Joshua Kelly's there, has some talented rookies, so keep an eye on that one. All right, we got one different position now. What's the different position for a position battle here,
The
Henry?
Bears quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles. Personally, I don't like either of these quarterbacks. They're both personally terrible. I mean, Foles did go on and win a Super Bowl for the Eagles, but he was the backup most of the year. But personally, I think Foles will win this one. Trubisky has performed terrible these last couple of years.
Not a Trubisky fan.
No.
I'm good with that too. I think Foles is a steady veteran, but Trubisky has talent. So if he can somehow turn it around and make fewer mistakes and make better reads, they will give him a shot to start. But it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. All right, Henry. How about some injuries to watch now? Definitely some guys coming off injuries from last year that could have big roles this year, and these injuries could still impact them going forward. So let's talk about some of that injury watch information for this training camp. First one, I'll give you one. Deebo Samuel, this guy I was huge on before he suffered his Jones fracture, which is a fracture of his foot. So there's a chance he's going to miss some time early in the year, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I was huge on Samuel this year, thought he was going to have a big year, but it's still not a given that he's going to miss time early in the year. We'll know more when camp opens, so that's definitely an injury I would watch. How about you, Henry?
I have Will Fuller. He missed 5 games last season, and he's failed to play a full season all 4 seasons he's had in the NFL. He's been recovering from off-season core surgery and might not even be 100% for training camp. Personally, he will get some targets in the offense just because Hopkins is gone, but I don't think he'll perform as well. Like, he's not going to perform well.
You don't like him?
No.
Even if he's healthy? I think he has some upside, but, you know, he has some guys to compete with. Brandon Cooks there now, Randall Cobb as well. But his issue is just staying on the field. He's performed well at times and shown big things. Definitely an injury to keep an eye on. All right, I have another receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. We went from running backs to receivers we're talking about. Now we're talking about receivers. So I have Alshon Jeffrey. He had a Liz Frank injury, which is another foot injury. He's iffy for the start of camp. He might not even be ready for the start of the season. He's kind of up in the air right now. But again, another one to watch in camp. We'll have a better idea of his status as camp goes on, see if he'll be ready for the year. And again, if he's healthy, he's probably #1 receiver for Philadelphia. So his draft value is very low right now. If he starts showing signs of being healthy, I think it'll go up a little bit. So that's another one to watch. How about another injury, Henry?
Evan Ingram. Last year he was on his way to a big season last year before his injury hit. He had to have surgery this offseason to repair his foot injury. Personally, I think he's still, after this foot injury, I don't think he's going to perform as well as he was on his way to a big season last year. He's going to have a pretty good season. He's going to be the starter in Giants offense, of course, but he's not going to perform as well.
You don't think he'll perform as well, even if he comes back healthy? You're kind of worried about him still.
Yeah.
They have a few more weapons this year. I could see that. Slayton's there, and you have Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard. Their big problem's been injuries as well in the passing game. I think Ingram's a good bet to have a fairly big season if he can stay healthy, but Henry's not quite as high on him. So I got a running back now we can talk about for injury watch. Chris Carson. He had his season cut short last year, cut short because of a fractured hip late in the year. He did not need surgery on the hip, which is kind of surprising. It sounds painful, doesn't it? He is back. He's apparently close to 100%, not quite there yet, but again, recovering from a fractured hip is a concern for me. So I want to see him in camp, see if he's healthy, see if he's ready to go. He can have a good season if healthy, so that's another one I'm going to keep an eye on. How about you, Henry? Last one.
AJ Green. He had tons of injuries last year that caused him to miss all of last year. He has played only 9 games in the last 2 seasons. He can be an elite receiver if he stays healthy. I just don't like him, though, this year. Even if Burrow throwing to him, he just can't stay healthy.
It's true. Green's definitely a big injury risk. I think that's affecting his value right now. But he's one to keep an eye on. If he does somehow get healthy and stay on the field, we've seen what he's done in the past. So one to watch, definitely. Henry, all right, that's training camp preview. Also, if you want to see all our training camp previews in the draft guide, I have done a list for every division, so you can see them broken out by team. You can go to Draft Guide. It's freedraftguide.com. Also in the App Store, so we're really proud of that. Tons of information in there. So check it out at freedraftguide.com, or you can see it in the App Store as well. You can search for Real-Time Fantasy Sports Draft Guide. All right, Henry, thanks a lot for joining me today. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, this has been Jeff Power, Senior Writer for Real-Time Fantasy Sports.
And I'm Henry.
Have a great day, everyone.